This is Shane the True, and I'm breaking down my album B.O.A.T.S, based on a true story. I was running into some SEO issues with the name Tuesday Night. Some woman from 1980 something dropped one song on the Nightmare on Elm Street soundtrack, and so Tuesday Night is the first thing that pops up. And I would upload my music to Spotify and stuff like that, and my music would be mixed up with hers, vice versa. I'd wake up one day and have some crazy shit uploaded to my profile, and I'm just like, what is this, bro? But yeah, just had to just switch up the name. And my whole thing is about being authentic, so I thought actually using my government name Shane would make it, Shane is being true, so Shane the True.
I was just about to ask you what the fuck Shane the True came from, but you got it. I was like, all right,
yeah. So my favorite line of chores has to be, I remember when I was on punishment looking outside at them riding they bike. Told me that if I get locked up for dumb shit, then all of them people keep living their life. So miss me with the street shit. And that's my favorite line in this song, but it's also my favorite line of the whole album because that really just describes me as a person, right? And so it's kind of crazy, but like I live in a cul-de-sac, and that's what I try to show with all these videos is like where I actually grew up. And my bedroom window literally faces this cul-de-sac, right? And this basketball court, that's where everybody rides bikes and everything. So like when I was on punishment, I literally had a front row seat to everybody having fun while I'm getting my ass beat. No candy, no nothing, no phone. I mean, back then it was the internet, like no AIM, no cell phone, and like I'm just watching people have fun, and I'm just like, I'm locked up technically, right? Like I'm on punishment, but I see all my friends outside still having fun, and that's when I realized like all that street stuff is like it's either gonna have me locked up and outside looking out a window and watching people have fun. Like nobody's life stops but mine by doing street shit, and so that's when I made that conscious decision. It's just like, all right, you know what? That's just not for me because I'm tired of being locked up while my friends is out doing shit in front of my face. They used to give me a different high like a bonjour, and now I'm sure gotta get back there. Disregarding if likes, views, and the stats there. Just keep swinging like Natch there. And that dude's just like dope because it's simple, but like being in upstate New York, there's gnats in your ear 24/7 up here in the summertime. Like so I'm saying like just gotta treat music like that. It's just keep swinging, and most times when people use that bar to keep swinging, it always goes to baseball, and I never heard nobody talk about swatting bugs, so figured I'd throw that in there. For the people out there, Omen sent me the beat, titled Grave Shift, and I was just like, okay, how can I, what can I do with Grave Shift? Because that's a dope name for a song. Like, what can I do with that? And I flipped it into some love joint, but almost like, some cocky love joint, like, yo, like, I love you, like, chill, be easy, like chill. You know what I'm saying? So the concept behind Grave Shift was like, okay, I know I got a job, right? Working 9 to 5, right? So it's like, it's about just making time for the people in your life, right? Everyone got a job, needs a job, or some form of way of getting money, right? And so I'm like, okay, the job's first, right? Then everybody got a dream, right? And you gotta put time into that, right? Then if you're in a relationship, you always gotta make time for your significant other. And so it's just like, okay, well, what time do I have left, right? And like I'm saying, basically, instead of sleep, I'm gonna work the grave shift. I'm gonna work overnight to like make sure the person I'm with feels loved. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where grave shift came from, and it's just balancing life, really.
What was it about Loose Ends? Despite what I was telling you, that like, yo, let's just get rid of this shit because this shit is not right. I don't like the beat too much, But you were like gun ho about Loose Ends.
Yeah.
And the beat. Like, I could have put another beat to it, but nah,
that's the beat. Now, I don't know. When I write to a beat, like, not to a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I write with that vibe in mind, but, like, I write to a beat. Like, so when I write something and I say a word that hits at a certain point, like, the verse is not gonna sound right to me if that's not exactly where it is. Like, I mean, how many times have I've been like, yo, there's something off about this shit, and it'd be off by like 0.001 seconds. Like, literally, that's just how I work. It's like it has to be that. So when I wrote this song with the emotion that it had, and I was trying to be vulnerable, you know, got those one of them songs on there, like I was like, it's not gonna feel right if it's not how I wrote it. Like I made these words for this beat, you know, and that's really only worked once, and that was Cold Outside. That's the only time I've been able to completely rap a full song I wrote on a beat I didn't write it to. That was the only time. So what I mean to say with like fuck I need with new friends is like I can barely rely and, you know, trust the friends that I do have, people that I've known my whole life, like, right? So like what are the chances that a stranger or a new friend I'm gonna have a better relationship with? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the fuck I need with new friends, you know, I barely like my old ones, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fuck I need with new friends. And so that's it just felt important to me, because like, you know, just like there's like a lot of people I feel like I did a lot for that just don't return the favor, you know what I'm saying? And like act like nothing happened, and like that's what I'm saying. One of the lines I say, gave my love, but they treated like I lent it and still never gave it back. What I'm supposed to make it at? And like that's just like a dope bar, because like I said I gave my love, but they treated like I lent it, like it wasn't forever, you know what I'm saying? And even though they thought it was lent, they still ain't get his shit back. Like it's either I gave it to you or I lent it. And if you feel like it's lent, give the shit back. Like regardless, it should be reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the song's about. I was trying to paint the picture of being on a date, right? And someone that you don't know super well, right? And I wanted it to be conversational because I wanted it to be relatable, right? And so I wanted to talk on topics that people actually talk about on their first date, you know? And like I wanted it to feel like the listener is on the first date with me. And I felt like having the girl answer the questions instead of me just rapping and telling a story would paint a better picture. And to hear the conversation, almost like eavesdropping on a conversation, and be like, okay, yeah, that is dope how he said that, and how I can relate to that conversation. Oh, that happened to me. I had that exact same conversation, shit like that. You know, like who doesn't talk about aliens on the first date? Like that's just like. And that's why I thought it was even dope that I even asked that question. Like, I wonder if she cool enough to talk aliens with. She broke her silence and said, "Do you like alien shit?" Like that shit is just dope to me.
If I was directing the damn video, you just made it for me. There
right?
Like we don't need any notes, bro. Like
I talked about the blanket that she brought. What's on the blanket? I said wine and combos, cheap boxed wine and combos. Minutes of silence break up the convos. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then like literally going into the conversation, but like the dopest shit to me was just talking about the stars, right? And just how long I talk about stars, because it's stargazing, right? I'm talking about staring up at the stars, and I'm asking her like, I said, because you know people wish on stars, right? You say you see a wishing star, you see a shooting star, and they say make a wish, right? So I'm saying, I said I wish I could read her, like with the stars moving. I said I wish that I could read her mind, because it's hard to read her signs. By the way, what's your sign? Then she said, I'm a Cancer. I said, not the name, but do you know where to find? Because a lot of people, they talk about signs, but a lot of people don't remember or don't recall that those signs are actually stars. They're constellations, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm taking it. Basically, I'm trying to show I'm going to go deeper than the average person. Like, oh, what's your sign? I'm a Cancer. Like, nah. Do you know where that motherfucker is? Like, do you know where the Cancer constellation is? You know what I'm saying? And that's why she says, like, in the sky? And that shit is just dope to me. But then I also say I bring the stars back after we're talking about the aliens, because I said, damn, can she read my mind? Like I wonder if that was her wish too, because that's what I wish for. And I'm like, she saw the stars. Maybe she did wish to read my mind, and that's how she knew I was about to talk about aliens, right? And so I just know I just bring all the bars full circle, and that shit is just really dope to me. OD, and girl destroys it. That's my favorite part of the song, and I got some bars in there, but like her singing is just like super dope. Cause I heard more money, more problems, but it's money that solve them. So be broke and have none, or rich enough to solve all of them. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's a dope bar to me, because first off, the more money, more problems, right? So as you make more money, you get more problems, right? But like, do you want to be broke and essentially have no problems, which is a problem in itself, or the The converse of that, or the reverse of that, is making enough money to where the more problems you gain, it's still solved by you having an exorbitant amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, do you chase money, or do you chase being content with what you have? And I feel like that's most people's biggest dilemma in life. Having the wrap up and then reusing the wrap up part 2 under Shane the True, I wanted it as like an Easter egg for the fans that happen to be there for both, right? Some of the new fans wouldn't get it. Why is it a part 2? But it also serves as another purpose, right? So they'd be like, okay, to wrap up part 2, like, this song's dope. What's part 1? You know what I'm saying? And then that could help them go back to Tuesday night and rediscover how I started. You know what I'm saying? But it also is people coming from Tuesday night to be like, oh shit, I remember he did the wrap up part 1. This is the wrap up part 2. Dope. And I even start with the same lines, which I think makes it even cooler to like try to bring that like reminiscent almost. It's like, okay, I remember when I first heard those 2 bars, you know what I'm saying? It was when he came out with Fresh Out the Rapper. But like now they're hearing it in Shane the True, and then I switch up the flow and keep it going, you know. But I thought it was dope to reuse the song title and those first 2 bars to just kind of bridge those 2 worlds between Tuesday Night and Shane the True. This is Shane the True. That was the breakdown from my latest album, B.O.A.T.S, based on a true story. Make sure y'all go download that, buy that, iTunes, Spotify, Apple, Google, Deezer, all them things. Get them all. Yeah. Don't get them on one, get them on all. Title, all that. My man, okay. Now that's what we talking about, right? Okay.